Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 16 to 20 of chapter 3. Evam pravartitam chakram.
Evam pravartitam chakram.
Nanuvartayati hayah.
Nanuvartayati hayah.
Aghayurindriya ramah.
Aghayurindriya ramah.
Mogham partha sajivati.
Mogham partha sajivati.
Yastvat maratireva syad.
Yastvat maratireva syad.
Atmatriptascha manavah.
Atmatriptascha manavah.
Atmanyeva cha santushtah.
Atmanyeva cha santushtah.
Tasya karyam na vidyate.
Tasya karyam na vidyate.
Naiva tasya krite narthah.
Naiva tasya krite narthah.
Na krite neha kaschana.
Na krite neha kaschana.
Na chasya sarva bhuteshu.
Na chasya sarva bhuteshu.
Kaschidarthavyapashrayah.
Kaschidarthavyapashrayah.
Tasmadasaktah satatam.
तस्मादसक्तः सततम्
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म
असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
परमाप्नोति पूरुषः
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
आस्थिता जनकादयः
आस्थिता जनकादयः
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So last week you all did the deep yogic sadhana of Guru Purnima. This year I had increased the energy, the healing energy a lot. That is why I had asked you to do it for one full week. To get the grace of the Guru Shakti is a desire of all the sadhaks, of all the yogis, those who are in the path. Because it is only when the Guru Shakti's grace flows within us that we'll be able to learn the lessons of life and grow. Whether it is a Bhagavad Gita or any other scripture, what is written down is not the full wisdom. See, for example, we are doing verse number 18 in chapter 3 right now. When you read the translation, for him there is no motive to act or to not act here. There are no beings or objects which he is dependent on. Now, it looks as if he is giving some piece of information, but that is not it. The deep lessons of life are being conveyed through these verses. See, actually speaking, you don't require any book, any scripture and all that, provided you learn the lessons of life from life itself. Life itself is the best book which you have. Every experience is like one verse, and you can keep on learning and growing. Your personality will get purified and your consciousness will start expanding. But unfortunately, no one has that capacity to learn the lessons of life directly from life itself. The nature of the experiences are so strong that they pull you, whether whether it is an experience of joy or whether it's an experience of sorrow. That is, whether it is a pleasurable experience or whether it is an unpleasurable experience. Whatever be the nature of experience, those experiences are so strong that your mind gets completely involved in it. Now, there are two ways of approaching this. How do you learn the lessons, the higher lessons of life? Either you stop off all the experiences and you just throw out whatever you have accumulated from the past. Past means I don't mean merely yesterday, day before yesterday. I'm talking of your previous births, thousands of births which you would have undergone, millions and millions of births in different dimensions. Everything is there stored within you. Now, even though on paper this looks like a method, practically it's not possible, because the force of your impressions, the force of your vasanas will push you to act in the world. You attract the various experiences in your life based on your vasanas, which create a certain energy pattern. Vasanas means unmanifested thoughts or unmanifested desires. When the desire is in the manifested form, we call it desire. When the same thing is in a seed form, we call it vasanas. So that creates a particular energy pattern which attracts the various experiences into your life. So to completely cut off all the experiences and just sit with the eyes closed and go deep within and release everything from the past is not practical. In theory, it can be said, but actually, can you do it? Nobody can do it. Therefore, the infinite manifested as the Guru Shakti. The Guru Shakti, the energy. See, and Guru Shakti means, as I told you in the Guru Purnima session also, it is that energy which keeps guiding you. So that has directly come from the infinite. In order to help you withstand the force of the experiences of your life, so that you can learn the lessons and evolve. So once the Guru Shakti starts flowing, then only you will be able to, that is, flowing means flowing within you, which is what we mean by getting the grace of the Guru. It's only then you can face life, you can experience life, learn the lessons, complete your experiences and keep moving up. So, if you take the Bhagavad Gita, we can say it is one external manifestation of the Guru Shakti. A live master, he is also a manifestation of the Guru Shakti. That is, anything which comes into your life to directly teach you, that is a manifestation of the Guru Shakti only. So without the flow of the Guru Shakti, that is, when you don't get connected with the Guru Shakti, even if you read the Bhagavad Gita a million times, it will only give you information. It will stay as information within you, but it will not create any change in your life. The study of the scriptures done merely in an intellectual way will give you a lot of information, will make you a pandit, a scholar, but it will not make you a yogi, a saint. And even when it is said, see, there are 3 steps in Jnana Yoga, no? Shravana, listening, then Manana, reflecting inwardly, and third is Nididhyasana, which is nothing but in a meditative way installing these principles in the deeper layers of your mind. Now, the Nididhyasana is almost impossible to practice unless it is triggered by a guru. Again, in theory, everything is possible. Some people ask me, sir, is a guru required? If you go by the strict definition, no, because you are the guru, you are the student. But practically, whether all these things are possible or not, that is a big question. So, if you take Shravana, listening, and then Manana, reflection, you mentally reflect. But as I was telling you, you are stuck at a particular level. Your consciousness is stuck at a particular level. So, your reflection also will be limited to where your consciousness is stuck. The Bhagavad Gita, let's take this example, verse number 18. This verse being the same, each one of you will understand it according to the level of your consciousness. So, your reflection also will be limited only, the capacity for you to reflect. But should you stop? No. You keep on trying. The very act of trying, the very act of putting in the effort, but what I mean by trying is putting in that effort. That is the very strength of a yogi. That is the strength of a sadhak. It puts you, it keeps you in the path. But you also need to understand that if you're continuously going to reflect on your own, see, your reflection is based on your understanding. And your understanding is based on where your consciousness is stuck. You cannot think beyond your level. It's not possible. Even if you try to stretch, probably a little bit. And then if you try to do Nididhyasana all by yourself, again, that's going to be so difficult. So then what do we do? How do we get out of this cycle? Your consciousness is stuck at a particular level. So your thinking is limited, your understanding is limited to that level. So whatever you reflect will be based on your understanding only. So this cycle will keep on going. That is where the Guru Shakti comes into the picture. The Guru Shakti, when you get connected to the Guru Shakti, what happens? The Guru Shakti temporarily lends you that power from the higher level, so that you get the capacity to understand more than your level, that capacity to reflect a little more than whatever level you are established in. And then the master guides you in the Nididhyasana process and installs all the higher qualities, the higher wisdom in the deeper layers of your mind. And then you keep doing your sadhana. So when this process is triggered by the Guru Shakti, then that uplifts the consciousness. So every verse which we are studying here, it is not a mere piece of information. Actually, it is a reflection of the Guru Shakti trying to teach you. Because you don't have that capacity to learn the higher lessons directly from life, we require a scripture. We require a scripture like Bhagavad Gita. It actually gives you the various principles, the higher principles of life. But when you read it, you will be reading it from your level only. For him, there is no motive to act or to not act here. There are no beings or objects which he is dependent on. Supposing a tamasic person reads it, he'll say, oh, there is nothing to act, no problem. That's how he will understand it. A rajasic person who reads this will straight away say, oh, no motive, no, then it's going to be a boring thing. He will reject it. See, at any level, your understanding will never be complete. So, even though these verses, let us take verse number 18 itself, it has the complete lessons of life. Because your consciousness is stuck at a particular level, you will not be able to eke it out fully. That is why the yogic approach is very relevant. The help from the master, the connection with the Guru Shakti, all these things are so important for us to do sadhana. Without the yogic approach, the real messages cannot be obtained. You cannot get out, you cannot eke out the deep messages. And without the Guru Shakti, the yogic approach itself cannot be applied. That is why we give so much of importance to Guru Purnima. Because the energy of the Guru acts as a bridge between the sadhak and the infinite. It helps your consciousness to keep on expanding. So I'm so happy, so glad that you all have got this opportunity to do the yogic sadhana of Guru Purnima. Again, it's not about the chanting of the Guru Stotram, and that is an all the external thing, but the energy behind it that cannot be replicated. Today, in this world of technological advancement, where learning has become much more easier, all the information is available in the internet. And now that artificial intelligence is developing so much, in the future, the methodology of learning will change completely. It has already started. In a press of a button, you will get so much of information. Whatever it is that you want to learn, you can learn. Even if you press Bhagavad Gita, everything will come. What is a word meaning that you can learn? If you just press Vedas, open everything. You want to learn mathematics, physics, whatever it is. The resources are being made available. But there is one thing which can never be made available. That is the Guru Shakti. There is a difference between a guru, that is learning from a guru, and learning from an external source, whether it is books. See, in the earlier it was the books. Then the books came in digital format. In the good old days, it was mere listening. That's why they called it a Shravana, the first step. Then books were there. Then the books came in the digital format. Then the lectures, where the technology advanced, we could record the lectures and one could, hear them again and again. Again, that is also Shravana. So, different methods. Today, it is all the internet whatever is available in the internet, the AI, artificial intelligence, that has become the external source. So it's the same thing only, whether you're getting it from a book or a digital book or an AI, the methodology has changed. The probably the at a stroke, uh, a lot of information, data can be shared with you. That's all that has happened. But your capacity to understand, your capacity to reflect, even for if you want to gain worldly wisdom, development of a skill cannot be replaced by AI. You cannot see, you can learn the theory part, but how will you actually learn a skill? It's only through practice. The AI can tell you, for example, in music, these are the notes, all that it can give you. But then unless you practice it and start feeling the the sound vibrations and you practice, you cannot become a musician. So even in the worldly language, in the worldly sense, these external sources can give you a lot of information, but for you to master a skill, you have to put in that effort. No more so with spirituality. Because I received one email, one youngster has asked, as now the AI has come, so what is the necessity of a guru, what is the necessity of the scriptures, because everything is available now. What is available? Just the external information is available. Now you may say, no, with the AI we can make the AI chant in a perfect way so that those vibrations, all that is okay. That is also external only. That is why I said it's not dependent on the chanting. To invoke the higher Guru Shakti, that is a totally different thing. To invoke the higher Shakti, that no external source can help. Even this this session, see, if your approach is just merely mechanical, it will only be an informative session. But if you use this to receive the healing energy and with a lot of devotion, with utmost concentration and seriousness, if you take this up and with a lot of desire to learn and grow, then this yogic approach will reach you. Your own level of consciousness puts a lot of filters and blocks, and that does not allow you to freely grow. So remember this, whatever it is that you know, whatever it is that you understand, never ever develop an ego over that, because all that is still limited. That's why the great Siddhas said, whatever you know is just like a drop. What you don't know is like an ocean. And all the yogis feel that way. If you go to the Upanishads, that, in one of the Upanishads, the master makes a statement. Just to understand the statement, just to go into the depth of it, one lifetime itself will go away. So much of depth packed in just one statement. He says that, and he says, thus have we heard from our masters. He's referring to his gurus, He doesn't attribute it to himself. That natural humility is there because this wisdom is truly, truly infinite. It is like an ocean. You can keep on swimming eternally. As the Bhajagovindam Adi Shankaracharya says, Nandati Nandati Nandatyeva. He is reveling, he is always reveling. Once you get into that Brahmic consciousness, it is a never ending process. So, in this verse number 18, he is talking about that supreme yogi who is reveling in that infinite consciousness. How is he going to approach action? How is he going to relate with the world? All that he is explaining. So when you approach this with devotion and when in a yogic way, when you receive the energy from the master and when you understand and reflect and when you write down your points, see that opportunity has been given to all the sadhaks to write down all the points and put it in the comment sections is only to enhance this process, because when you do that, the Guru Shakti will flow more to you, more healing will be given unto you. If you choose not to do that, okay, that is your choice. Opportunity has been given. Originally, it was suggested that let's close off the comment section so that there are no distractions. Then I said, why should we see it as a distraction? Why not use the same platform as an opportunity? Why not create an opportunity for all the sadhaks so that they can absorb this wisdom better? Some person has again sent a mail asking me, sir, how do you get the time to read all our points? We know you're so busy. You're always, you're meditating, giving healing, doing the Yoga Sankirtan projects and writing, you're in the process of writing some books, and these lectures are there and more. What you mentioned is that more programs are going to come in the future. So in this kind of a busy schedule, how do you get time to read our points? It is not like that. Let me tell you one thing. When you sincerely write your points, then it becomes my duty to have a look at it. It is your sincerity which gives me the time. Yes, no doubt. Sometimes I don't have the time to read all the points at one go. So I split it. Whenever some spare time is there, immediately I sit and read a few. And as I'm reading, I know what the energy pattern of the person is. So if there are any energy imbalances, immediately the healing is given. All that. From where do I get the time? From where do I get that inspiration to do? It is your sincerity only. Ultimately, what for are we having all these sessions? It is only to help sadhaks grow. And when the sadhak is putting so much of effort to understand this and reflect and then put it down there, some people, write whatever they're inspired with. Some people write a lot of points. It doesn't matter, but that effort involved. Now, I respect that. See, you will be surprised. You're thinking only a student should respect the teacher. No, a guru respects the student a lot. See, sometimes he may have to use a harsh language that is not out of disrespect. Actually, that is out of respect only. Because you have such a great potential, and when you slip off and go somewhere, he uses that harsh energy to pull you back. Not all the time, once in a while. But remember, if a student is devoted to Guru, if you say that, I would say Guru is also equally devoted to the student. The Guru is always so sincere. A true master is very sincere when he gives his wisdom. And when he finds the same sincerity in a student, now immediately, without any blocks, the energy flows. That is why I left it as a choice. If I had put it as a rule and said only if you write the points you can attend, that becomes an external rule. Instead, choice. If you want to be sincere, be sincere. If you don't want to be sincere, don't be sincere. That choice has to be given. So, in this verse, what did we see in the first line? For him, there is no motive to act or to not act here. We saw that in detail. And then we went to the next line, which is what we are doing now. There are no beings or objects which he is dependent on. That principle of vyapashraya. Many people had written that. That is so inspiring, when it was split into the 4 parts. Shrayaha, Ashrayaha, Apa Ashrayaha, and then Vi Apa Ashrayaha, Vyapashrayaha. So every part has a purpose that gives you that energy. See, just to do the split up and give you the Sanskritam part, that a scholar can do. But how is it relevant to your sadhana? Because you may think now, so now should I master the Sanskritam language? Only then I can understand all this? Not necessary. With whatever knowledge you have, see how does a yogi function? With whatever knowledge he has, he is able to go into the depth of it. Supposing, let's say, you don't know so much of Sanskritam and all that. Just by saying he is not dependent on it. A yogi will sit and meditate and he will again reach the same conclusion only. This is how in the good old days, the great rishis, the great yogis, they were able to get the higher wisdom. When the secrets of the Shakti sadhana were revealed to Adi Shankara, Shakti gave him the entire thing and he took that and he was carrying that. Then Lord Shiva sent Nandi. He said, go and steal away half of that and come. So he came and he took that and ran away. Half of whatever he was having. Let's say it's like a book, Half the book he tore it and took it away. Now, Adi Shankaracharya was shocked, and when Shakti came to know of it, she asked Shiva, why did you do that? He said, no, out of your compassion you have given him the full thing, but he will not be able to gain the wisdom through that. So I have taken away the half, I am withholding half of it. Let him use that half, go into meditation, then only, and let him complete the picture. Only then it will become wisdom. So it is only by this process of sadhana that you can complete the wisdom within you. So don't get caught up with the Sanskritam language or by the analytical part. Enjoy that. See, as we are doing it, when that is being presented, of course it's so beautiful. V plus Apa plus A plus Shraya, all that. It's so wonderful. Enjoy that process, but don't get stuck there. Beyond that, what is the sadhana message which is being conveyed? Remember that. So the Vyapashraya, that word helps you to study your own mind. What is the psychology of your mind? So many people say, I always keep reading the psychology of others, they say. Once, there was a professor in Japan, and he was criticizing everyone. Swami Ramatita was in Japan that time, and that professor was known to criticize. He was a philosophy professor. And when he met Swami Ramatita, he said, Swamiji, all the people are saying that I am criticizing, but I am not really criticizing. I am only studying the psychology of others. To which Swami Ramatita asked him, correct, you are studying the psychology of others. Have you studied the psychology of your own mind? That professor was stunned. Have you put in any efforts to study yourself, to study your own mind? You're studying others. Actually, you're not studying others, he said. You're only criticizing. And you're giving a very nice name for that. I'm studying the psychology of others and all that. Start studying the psychology of your own mind. Only then you will understand this nature, this judgmental attitude which you're having. Only then you can get into the process of self-purification. The professor, that moment when Ramatita told him that, he became, that moment was a decisive moment in his life, because till then he was a scholar, a professor, but that moment made him a sadhak. When you're a mere scholar, you feel you know everything. The moment you become a sadhak, you feel you don't know anything. Even though you may have a lot of knowledge, you still feel you don't know. That is the beauty. So enjoy all these things. Some examples may be given. Sometimes the Sanskritam part may be opened up and explained to you. Different dimensions will be given. All that. Enjoy it. Every bit of it is so lovely. But don't miss the main thing, which is the sadhana message. So Vyapashraya is about studying your own mind. And your mind always wants a support. Shrayaha means support. And that is why your mind is restless. Why is it that you're seeking something or other in the world? What are you seeking? Happiness, of course. In what form? In the form of a support, in the form of shelter. So, Vyapashraya means moving away from the center. Moving away and seeking shelter. From where are you moving away? From your own center. And when you move away from the center of your personality, which is nothing but the infinite supreme reality, now what happens is you start becoming dependent on the world for your happiness. And when we say world, what is the world? What does the world consist of? Objects and beings. That's what he's covering here. So your mind starts relating to objects, and then you become a slave to objects. You become attached, you become addicted, you essentially become a slave. Similarly, you relate with people, again you get attached, and you become so dependent on them for your happiness. The yogis are not against relating with the objects, relating with the world, or relating with anyone. You should relate with the objects of the world. You should relate with everyone. But what are they against? You relate, but when you get attached and stuck there, when you become dependent on the world for your happiness, then that is a dangerous thing because you can never be happy. You may be given the best of things from the world genuinely, but you will not be happy. You may have the latest cell phone, but that have, within a short while, you'll want something else. You may have the best person as your partner, but you will not be happy. See, when Lord Krishna went as a peacemaker to stop the war, see, what did Duryodhana do? He tried to arrest Krishna. Can you imagine? He thought if he could imprison Krishna, then Pandavas will not fight. That's what we call as manda buddhi, means limited intellect, dull intellect. So Krishna just laughed and he just showed his Vishwarupa Darshana, the cosmic form, which anyway he shows to Arjuna also. Fortunately for us, in that process, we can also get a glimpse that his real spiritual stature was shown. In that brilliance, nobody was able to see anything. All of them became stunned. And Dhritarashtra, he requested Krishna. He could feel that presence. So he said, Krishna, I don't have eyes to see. Dhritarashtra was a blind person. And he said, I don't have eyes to see, but I request you to give me the divine eye so that I can have your vision. And Krishna said yes. And Dhritarashtra was given the divine vision. And with that, when the third eye was opened, he saw the Vishwarupa Darshana of the Lord, which even great yogis find it difficult. That opportunity was given to Dhritarashtra. Why? Because with that experience, if he changes his mind and if he stops the war, so many lives can be saved. That was Krishna's idea. Now, when Dhritarashtra saw that, he became speechless. And what he said was very interesting. He said, Krishna, having seen your Vishwarupa Darshan, now I don't want to see anything else. Close my third eye again. And don't heal me. I don't want these two eyes. Let it remain as it is. That was a choice which he made. It was made out of extreme devotion. Having seen you, I don't want to see anything else. But the moment the third eye closed and he got back to his normalcy, again the Maya, the delusion, completely came and overshadowed his mind. In spite of seeing Krishna's Vishwarupa Darshan, and he knows that Krishna is with Pandavas, he still didn't stop the war. He had those powers, but he never used them. He was so attached to Duryodhana that blinded him completely. So, Krishna offered Duryodhana everything. He said, see, if you join hands with Pandavas, you both, put together will be the unstoppable force. Nobody will dare to even come near you. So many things he said, but nothing appealed to them. Even though Krishna himself went as a peacemaker, Duryodhana didn't accept. Even though Dhritarashtra saw and experienced Krishna's Vishwarupa darshan for us for a moment, still his mind didn't change. Why? Because the consciousness was stuck at a lower level. So that gave a lot of attachment. He was so dependent on his son Duryodhana, and he was prepared to do everything just to please his son. All dharma, righteousness, everything went away. Whatever his son asked, he started doing at one point of time. That's a very dangerous thing, no? So when you become dependent on the world for happiness, that is the starting point of all your problems. So what these great masters are saying is that you experience the world, you experience the objects of the world, you relate with people, all that you do. But when the point of dependence comes, dependence means we are not talking of external dependence here, I am talking of the internal dependence, that is being dependent on the world for your happiness. When that point comes, the masters say, put a line there. If you cross that line, now then it will lead to stress. All your stress is coming because in everything in life you cross that line. If you take the latest technological advance, okay, cell phone is there. It's a very nice thing. You can use it to your advantage. But you cross the line, indulge with it so much, and then that even affects your health. Nowadays, many psychologists and other doctors, they say, cut down your cell phone time, do this, do that. Why? Because you cross the line. Food is meant for you to eat and enjoy. But you cross the line so much, you overeat and you get into all kinds of trouble. I'm giving you some examples, Wealth, get how much ever you want. Live your life beautifully. Also distribute a portion of your wealth to others, to charity. You also enjoy. You can use the wealth for, in a very positive way. It is so wonderful. But what happens is you cross the line. You become so greedy. You want everything for yourself. And you start becoming unrighteous in order to get that. That's where the problem comes. In anything, when you cross the line, then you get into trouble. A relationship is there. You here is your partner and you're relating with him or her. That person is your spouse. Up to a point, it's so enjoyable. But then you cross the line, you get over-attached, you develop too many expectations, and you want the other person to behave according to what you think is right, according to your expectations. You put so much of pressure on the other person emotionally. Then all the stress starts. So with respect to objects and beings, you have to draw an invisible line. This is called Lakshmana Rekha. The Ramayana, we've heard that incident, no? Where Lakshmana drew a line and he said, don't cross this. That's what he told Sita when he went to see what happened to Rama. As long as Sita was within that, line, there was no issue. But the moment she crossed, Ravana had come in the disguise of a sannyasi, and he asked her for alms, and he said, no, you can't give food from inside. You have to come out. And he couldn't cross that and come inside because the Lakshman Rekha was generating so much of fire that Ravana was not able to enter. So he somehow, spoke to her and made her come out. She thought, oh, sannyasi, sadhu, so it's my dharma to serve. With a good motive, she crossed the line. And thereafter, she became a captive of Ravana. What is the moral behind this entire incident? It's not just a story for you to read and, oh, this is what happened to Sita. You have to learn from it. Ravana had 10 heads that represents your 10 sense organs. And when you cross the line, you become a captive of Ravana. Means you become a captive of your own sense organs. The sense organs which contact the world. It's a beautiful depiction. See, today people are only talking about the story part, but they forget the deeper sadhana aspects of these Puranas and Itihasas. It is very sad indeed. The real depth of this wisdom is lost, and people are just hanging on to the externalities. So there are no beings or objects which he is dependent on. So, number one, we will see that one by one. Vyapashrayaha has been covered. Enough has been given to you for you to do your reflection. Now, he uses two things. Sarva bhutaha means all beings, and then he uses artaha. Again, all objects, kaschit artaha, any object, which means whatever object you take. So he has used sarvaha for bhuta, beings, and then kaschit, any for object, just to emphasize that there is nothing which he is dependent on. That also gives us a clue, very interesting. There are the different types of beings and different types of objects ready to make you cross the line, the Lakshmana Rekha. Very, very enticing. See, the mind gets attracted to all the destructive things very fast. Good things, it takes a while. The reason is, good things are not so attractive to start with. You have to develop a taste for it. The harmful things attract externally. It's like, two stones are given to you. One is diamond, the real diamond. The other is just another stone. But the diamond is wrapped in an ordinary cloth, whereas the other stone is wrapped in a beautiful cloth. All the designs are there, and then both are given to you. Which one would you take? You would immediately get attracted to the decorated cloth only, because the packing is so good. The extroverted mind gets attracted there. But if you have depth, you will say, let me find out what is there inside, and then let me choose. A person who says that is a sadhak. So in life itself, all the higher things, the sattvic things, the higher wisdom, it's all so unattractive to you compared to all the harmful things which have been packed so beautifully. So the mind gets attracted to that. But then once you cross the line, you get into stress. It causes so much of problems. Whereas a sadhak who is patient, who exercises his or her judgment and then chooses correctly, that person, he keeps growing spiritually. So, different types of beings, different types of objects. Arthaha and Bhutaha. So, the Sarva and Kaschit is where we get the clue. Why is he saying all beings, all objects? Because there are different types. So, once you make a study of that, you will understand that, oh, I should, I need to be careful. Artha, we saw many dimensions of Artha in the first line. In this line, Artha means objects. Kaschit Artha means all objects, material and immaterial. That is, gross objects and subtle objects. What do we mean by gross objects? Like wealth, money, all these things are gross. The sense objects, whatever you can perceive with your senses, we can say is gross. So that is one kind of artha, material objects. Then there are subtler objects, immaterial objects also, like name, fame, power, position, things like that. Those are also worldly objects only, but they are not gross objects like a sense object. So, if we had merely said artha, immediately you will take it as objects, only the gross objects. The moment he says kaschit artha, any object, now again when you use the yogic approach, it forces you to reflect. What does he mean by any object? What are the various objects which the world can offer? Oh, then you go deep into it and this wisdom unfolds. Either objects can be gross or objects can be subtle. And if you fall for any of this, falling means becoming dependent. If you contact them, no issue. If you enjoy them, no issue. But the moment you become dependent, you cross the line. So, any of this, if you fall for it, you will get into stress. So, many people, they fall for gross objects. They lose themselves in that. They get stuck there. Some people say, no, I'm not interested in wealth, but they have a weakness for name or fame, the subtler objects. So, the moment you become dependent on the object, it means you have a weakness there. That is what you need to make a note of. So, either people fall for gross objects or they fall for subtle objects, immaterial things like name, fame, power, position and all that. Some people, you can't influence them with money. How much ever you give, if they decide I will not do this, they will not do it. But you can easily influence them by praising them. You are so great, you are so wonderful. Can you do this for me? Definitely, they'll come and do it. It is only a yogi who is uninfluenced by all objects, kaschit artha, no weakness whatsoever. Again, being weak, that is having weakness is one thing, contacting is another thing. The yogi only has the freedom to contact freely. Why? Because he will never get attached. He's never going to become dependent. So, in spirituality, as you grow, a lot of temptations will come. A lot of wealth will come, a lot of sense objects will come, then subtler things will start coming, name, fame, power, position, all these things will start coming. So how much is your mind becoming dependent on that? You will have to find out for yourself internally. There's nothing wrong in contacting, gain wealth, gain name, fame, whatever it is, no issues. But how much is your mind getting stuck there? You have to have an internal yardstick. Only then you can progress in this spiritual path. You cannot avoid these things. So this is with respect to artha. Now when it comes to beings, he says sarva bhutaha. Why is he saying sarva? See, you living in the third dimension, you only know the beings of the third dimension. But a person who does spiritual sadhana, he or she will begin to experience other dimensional beings also. In our scriptures, our masters have divided the lokaha into 14 types of lokahas, starting from the lowest dimension to the highest dimension. So for each being they gave name, like you have human beings, then you have demigods, you have asuras, you have rakshasas, you have demigods, you have gods, like this, many different dimensions have been explained. So what is the sadhana relevance again there? I'll explain that also. Well, what are we going to achieve by studying about, by reading about the demigods and all that? There is a reason. So we'll categorize it into three. One is the negative beings. In the world itself, I'm saying negative people, then positive people. Then we will go to higher dimension now. Demigods. Different lokas have been explained. For example, they have said Kubera is the wealthiest person. They've talked about yakshas, yakshinis. So many things have been explained. Now, what is the relevance in your sadhana? When you do your sadhana, as you go deeper and deeper inside, when your energy centers start opening, when your chakras start getting purified, you will experience the higher dimensions. At that time, you should maintain your objectivity, not give value to all that. Because what you're interested in is the highest dimension, the infinite dimension. So, when the doors for these higher dimensions start opening up, these demigods will tempt you, will offer you with a lot of inner powers. These are called siddhis. Siddhis, commonly translated as supernatural powers. There is actually nothing supernatural about them. It is supernatural from a third dimensional point of view, but otherwise for a yogi, an accomplished yogi, it is as worldly as anything else. These are all different grades of worlds only. So, the deeper you do your sadhana, the subtler will be your temptations and you can't escape them. Some people say, oh, I don't want siddhis. Whether you want them or not, they will come to you. They have said, no, the Ashta Siddhis are there, the 8 powers. It's not merely 8, there are infinite powers actually. Navanidhis, Riddhi, Siddhi, all these things are there. Now, a sadhak who is in this path, his focus is only on the infinite dimension, but these powers will naturally come. When you keep on doing your sadhana, you will get the ability to read situations better. That is also a siddhi only. You'll get the ability to feel the energy of others, read the other person's mind by the energy decoding method. You just start seeing things in a more deeper way. Your powers of materializing will increase. See, when you try to materialize from the third dimension, that is one level. When you start materializing from the fourth, fifth, sixth dimensional level, now the materializing will happen very fast here. The healing powers will come. All these are temptations. Does it mean now you should not take them? That is not what the masters are saying. They are saying you should not become involved and stuck there. You should not get stuck with them. There are many masters who have used siddhi powers, these powers for the benefit of everyone. It was just a play for them. But there are many people, I would say 99.9% of the people, the moment they get one small power, they immediately get stuck there. They want to show it to everyone and make something, get something out of it. And whatever sadhana they do, all those fruits go away. Such a person is called yoga brashta. Later on in the Bhagavad Gita, he'll be talking about a yoga brashta, a person who has fallen from the state of yoga. So that is why the study of this will be very useful. And then comes the gods. So the demigods give you relative boons, relative powers. The higher gods give you the boon as the ultimate boon, which is the path to moksha, path to self-realization, which is what we are doing in the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana. The Yoga Sankirtan sadhana is meant to open up the doors for you to directly merge with the infinite dimensional consciousness. So when you get these deeper spiritual experiences, what the masters are saying is that there's an advice, direct advice to the sadhaks, is that be very detached. Let these powers come behind you. You should not go behind these powers. It is true with respect to arthaha and bhutaha. Sarva bhutaha kaschit arthaha. So beautifully put. Let all the objects come behind you. That's the yogi's approach. Let wealth come behind you. Why are you going behind wealth? Attract wealth, no? That's why even in that empowerment program, it was named as attracting abundance. Through your own efforts, you can materialize. That's not an issue. But do it in a very detached way. So, for a sadhak, first the negativities will get purged out, and then good things will start happening. Wealth will come, name will come, fame. Name, fame means within your circle, I'm saying. Enjoy or experience all that in a detached way. That is so important. Then some siddhis will come. Again, just be a witness. Oh, I have this power now, let me go and tell everyone. Finished. A little bit you get, now you want to show off. That's why masters tell sadhaks that whatever powers you get, just keep them within yourself. Don't keep advertising. Just be humble and keep doing your sadhana. This is the advice which the masters give to the sadhak. So, there are no beings or objects which he is dependent on. From a very simple analysis, it's, whatever objects, beings which he get, he will not be dependent on. But if you go deep into that construction, sarva bhutaha, kaschit artha, and decode the energy, decode all the messages. He is not merely talking of merely this dimensional world. He is talking of all the dimensional experiences, which anyway you will go through when you do your sadhana. As you go into more and more advanced sadhana, a lot of experiences you will get. Don't get excited. That is the caution, the advice which he put straight away. One person was telling me that, sir, can you teach me healing? I asked him, okay, why do you want to learn healing? He said, because I want to help others. Acha, you want to help others. What do you exactly mean? He said, see, sir, all I'm asking is, see, a person is suffering. Now, through me, let that suffering go away, So then what I told him is, you want that person's suffering to go, correct? Then why should it necessarily happen through you only? See, that is ego coming in a different form. He couldn't answer that. He said, so what I told him is, don't give such motives. See, you're wanting to learn healing because when I saw what was in his deeper mind, he was caught up with name, fame and all that. I said, you're a person who sees a lot of prestige in your family. He said, yes, sir, that is so important. That is what is prompting you to ask for healing also. So if I teach you the science of healing, now you will learn that, but you will fall spiritually completely because that will boost your ego. You will call yourself a healer now. A very dangerous thing. The yogic path, what we say is, we are not healers. It is that supreme Shakti who heals. And that Shakti is omniscient, all knowing, all intelligent. So I told him, definitely my answer is no, I will not teach you. And if you say, oh, he is not teaching me, I'll go and learn it from somebody else, that is your choice. But there is a reason why I'm saying no to you. Because you also have the desire to develop spiritually. And the very motive why you're asking is wrong. And if you drop so he asked me this, so does it mean that the healing powers, I should never experience them? I said, no, it's not that. You drop this motive, keep doing sadhana. The healing powers will come. And the master also will teach you when you're ready. It's not to shy away from these things. But see, when you're falling for small things today, when those are tempting you so much, taking you away from your path, these are very deep level of attractions. You'll definitely fall. It requires enormous strength to withstand the force of this world, be detached and say, I want God, nothing but God. That's why he's saying, Sarva Bhuteshu Kaschit Artha. It's the greatest achievement which anybody can achieve. You may achieve so many things in the world, all that pales into insignificant when you look at this great achievement of a yogi, which is detachment. He is not dependent on all beings or any object. Brilliantly put, So, overall, what is the sadhana message which you're getting? You as a Jivatma, as the individual, you are contacting the world. That is no issue. You have to contact the world. Then where are you going to do karma yoga? Some people ask me, sir, shall I go to the Himalayas and do karma yoga? So what are you going to do there? You can neither meditate. Can you meditate 24 hours? That also you can't do. Then you better be here and do your karma, no? No, sir, too much of stress. Learn this. Learn this wisdom. That is why this wisdom is being given to you. So you cannot escape the world. It's not a philosophy of escapism. You have to contact the world. So you have to work out your Lakshman Rekha, that line, in every experience. Up to this point, I am enjoying, it's so nice, but beyond this point, now I am getting addicted. I am becoming a slave. You will have to do your sadhana and get that clarity. I am giving you the guidelines, but you do the manana. Put down your points. That is a starting point. The healing Shakti also will be given to you for those people who are sincerely doing that. But then, in your life experiences, start observing this. That is so important. Starting from the food you eat. Sir, should I watch movies? Is he saying watching movies is wrong? Supposing you get frightened and you ask. Nothing wrong. To what extent are you watching? How involved are you? All these things only are important. Sir, should I eat my favorite sweet? Sometimes when you talk too much about detachment, the desires of people become more. Because when you say no only, you will want it. They are not saying no. Shouldn't I get wealth? Get wealth. No problem. Get into relationship, everything. Enjoy your life. But work out that Lakshman Rekha. That is your discipline. Up to what level should I go? That is, where should I stop? The moment you work out that, then your sadhana will take a different turn. This is the most difficult part in sadhana. And the standard formula cannot be given because every individual experience is unique. The life itself is so dynamic. So you can't give a standard formula and say, now follow this. The Lakshman Rekha, that line, is so subtle, it differs from person to person, from experience to experience. Even within one experience itself, for some people, if you ask me, so does it mean if I eat 2 sweets, it is within that line? 3 sweets mean it is nothing like that. It just depends on the individual. So this is the homework which I am giving you for your whole life. This is not for an entire path itself. This homework is applicable. That is, find your Lakshman Rekha in all your experiences. Now I'll give you one clue also, because if I tell you like that and leave you, you will do something and then I'll get a lot of questions. Sir, what is this Lakshman Rekha? I can't figure it out. I'll give you one simple clue. What did I say? Whenever you cross that line, you will become stressed, right? So in any area of life, if you're stressed, it means you crossed that line. Are you understanding? Work reverse. Either mental stress or physical stress. Physical stress means it may be some uncomfortable feelings, some pains, some problems, whatever it is. See, that's what a yogi does. Supposing, let's say, something goes wrong with his physical body, he immediately finds out, okay, what could be the cause? Oh, okay, for several weeks, the sleep part is a little less. Now, let me increase that. Or the posture is not okay. Now, let me change it. Similarly, with respect to relationships, wherever it is that you are stress means not merely mental stress, some issues we can say, which is bothering you. Something has gone wrong. It means you have crossed the line there. You may have crossed the line with it physically with respect to sleep, with respect to exercise. Either you may have over exercised, or you may have under exercised, which means you have crossed the line with respect to laziness. Or you may have overeaten or undereaten. Or it may be other sense contacts also. You will have to find out. Similarly, in relationship, either you're over attached and you're sticking to the other person to a point of irritation, or you're cold and withdrawn. Both these are crossing the line only, going to the extremes. So that is the homework which you need to do. This is a subtler sadhana which is being given to you. See, if you really want to develop spiritually, you have to do it, that's the only way. And it's a learning process. So wherever you're losing yourself, this is a simple way of finding out. The body gives you signals, the mind gives you signals. If your attitude is not wrong, the mind becomes stressed. It gives you signals. You miss them. When you're eating, the body does give you the signal, stop, enough. But you miss it. Supposing your lifestyle is not okay, the body becomes uncomfortable. Something goes wrong, immediately you should become alert. All yogis practice this. I'm only giving you what we practice. See, supposing one day you feel that your stomach is full, then skip one meal, no? The body is giving you the signal. So we need to follow this Lakshman Rekha principle very, very carefully in life, in a specific way, not in a generalized way. Some people, they're just generalized approach they have. It doesn't work. So it's not enough if you just merely read the Ramayana and leave it at that. No. Follow those principles in your life. This is a great sadhana principle. Only then you can reach this state. There are no beings or objects which he is dependent on. So even supposing, let's say, that person who asked me for healing, learning healing, there also the Lakshman Rekha is there. To heal another person, first of all, the Shakti only heals, but to be an instrumental, let us put it that way. To do that process without interfering with the other person's karmas, that is a very subtle art. One small slip, you will interfere with the other person's karmas, then you will only have to face consequences. There are many so-called healers I know, they get into issues. That's why these healing courses and all that, those are also attractive outside. But there are a lot of other issues, karmic issues, which one has to be careful of. I'm not frightening and saying, no, don't. It's not that. You'll have to do this. See, anyway, you can't avoid all these things, but start finding out what your Lakshman Rekha is. So, with gross things, when you find out first, then as you begin to get subtler and subtler, and when you gain the higher powers, again you will be able to apply the same principle there also. Okay, so we will stop here. We'll do Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond this physical body, beyond these various emotions and thoughts, lies my higher self, that infinite, supreme reality. Oh. From this moment onwards, I take a firm resolve to be a sadhak, I experience this world and learn the various lessons of life. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. Offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So we had a very deep session today. If you watch this session intensely, I would suggest you do that a few times. If you watch this deeply, you will understand that this will actually make you a sadhak of life. So many points have been given. You have to now absorb all of them and get a comprehensive view, These are all so subtle principles. The truth, these truths are so subtle that at one go it's difficult, it's impossible to explain everything. That's why little by little these things are being given to you. And once you've come to the yogic approach, you will not find the necessity to go anywhere else. If you're finding that necessity, means you're not being fully getting connected here. That's what it means. Because there's nothing higher than this yogic approach. This is dealing with life in its entirety and what is beyond life also. Okay, so do that homework and come back next week. We'll conclude this verse and move to the next verse. In the coming verses, a lot of practical tips are will be given. So we'll be seeing all that. Okay. So thank you very much. I'll see you next week. Hari Om.